being driven by fear, worry, preoccupation of the mind. It takes you out of your daily life, and it requires a conscious effort to overcome.
Welcome to the Secret Life Podcast. Tell me your secret. I'll tell you mine. Sometimes you have to go through the darkness to reach the light. That's what I did. After 12 years of recovery in sex and love addiction, I finally found my soulmate, myself. Please join me in my novel, Secret Life of a Hollywood Sex and Love Addict, a 4-time bestseller on Amazon. It's a brutal, honest, raw, gnarly ride, but hilarious at the same time. Check it out now on Amazon. Welcome to Secret Life Podcast. I'm Brianne Davis-Gantt. Today I'm pulling back the curtains of all kinds of human secrets. We'll hear about what people are hiding from themselves or others. You know those deep, dark secrets you probably want to take to your grave? Or those lighter, funnier secrets that are just plain embarrassing? Join me each week as we take a deep dive into one subject matter, exploring the how, what, when, where, and why of it all. Get ready for a more focused, more revealing journey of the human experience. This is Secret Life, and I'm excited for you to join the ride. Today, we are talking about addicted to worrying and overthinking. I'm sure anybody listening to this are not addicted to worrying and overthinking. Nope. All of us are just sane, cool, calm, and collect. We don't future trip at all. We don't go into an anxiety state. We don't overthink every single thing that is going on this planet. Freaking the fuck out with every single thing. Like, should I do that? Should I do this? What is this going to happen? And what is that going to happen? And yes, that is a type of, being prepared for the future or what's going to happen. But there is an addiction to overthinking. And a lot of people have to stop. And I was one of them. And I would think, okay, what if this happens, this happens, this happens? And now I'm better. Like, I actually don't overthink things as much. I am not addicted to worry. It's a thinking disease. So pretty much any addiction is a thinking disease. You're trying to escape yourself. And when you get rid of any chemical, any addicted to shopping, eating, sex and love, gambling, money, any of that stuff, underneath it, it's an escapism of the brain, of the thoughts. And when we get rid of that, it goes to then worry, then fantasy, then escaping in the brain. So I wanted to do just, are you addicted to worry and overthinking? Because that is the root, the core. So let's look at that. It's clinical addiction. It's a clinical addiction. It's a overthinking can be considered an addiction. That's a behavioral sense because it involves compulsion, habitual thought patterns that can be difficult to break, and it negatively impacts your well-being. So if you sit in thought, thinking the worst, and thinking like, you're actually hurting yourself twice, just so you know that you're playing out a bad scenario in your brain that's not even fucking happening yet. And then that bad scenario can actually happen. So you're actually hurting yourself twice. And what I think is like cutting yourself mentally once and then actually it happening twice. So you're literally going through your nervous system is actually going through the bad process twice. So that's number one. Don't do it. These characteristics, it's a characteristic addiction. It's being driven by fear, worry, preoccupation of the mind. It takes you out of your daily life, and it requires a conscious effort to overcome. So you have to put tools in place. You have to get yourself out of the thinking. It's actually more difficult, I believe. And I'm not saying getting out of a chemical addiction or sex and love was fucking torture, eating, all of those are hard. But that's like something outside of us that we can actually put down, right? We cannot call. We cannot text. We cannot pick up that donut, right? This is like in your fucking mind. It's torture to go through. So
it's hard. This one is a hard one to break. Why is overthinking an addiction? Why is worrying an addiction? It's compulsive. It's usually a habit when you came from a little kid. It's a compulsive habit where your mind gets stuck in a loop. It's a loop, and you analyze and you worry, analyze, worry, analyze, worry. Then it's a mental preoccupation. So your brain feels like it's actually doing something. It's actually solving something when it's actually not. So it's these compulsion, these consuming thoughts and energy, making it difficult to focus on anything else. So you could be literally watching something and having no idea, reading a book and having no idea. You don't comprehend. You're not involved in anything in your life because your brain is preoccupied. Like a substance, it's an escapism of your life. That's why it's a disorder. It's literally a thinking disorder. Negative consequences. It leads to a negative outcome. Increased stress, increased anxiety, physical health problems, and an ability to live in the present moment. And then there's the need to do this, need to do that. There can be an underlining unconscious belief that overthinking actually helps you get shit done. No. A belief of worrying actually prevents things from happening. This creates a sense of dependency on this behavior because it makes you believe you're getting shit done. So here are the physical symptoms, emotional symptoms, and cognitive symptoms of overthinking and worrying. Let's do the physical first. Rapid heartbeat and palpitations. Your heart starts going, right? Sweating, trembling sometimes, shaking, because you're actually living the energy in your body. Shortness of breath, feeling of choking. Sometimes people make themselves sick. Chest pains, discomfort, nausea, gastric intestinal issues, dizziness, lightheadedness, muscle tension, achiness, fatigue, weakness. That can happen in your body when you compulsively overthink and worry. Emotional symptoms, here we go. Excessive fear, restlessness, feeling on edge, irritability, frustration. We all have that. Difficulty concentrating. Your mind then is blank, feeling overwhelmed, impending sense of doom or danger. I've had that one. Irritability, obsessive thoughts, like I said, feeling detached or disconnected from life and everybody around you. Cognitive symptoms, here we go. Rapid thoughts are constantly streams of doomsday, horrible things happening, difficulty controlling and stopping those thoughts, catastrophic thinking, expecting always the worst, never the better. So overthinking and worrying is always bad. Nobody overthinks and worries about something good. Difficulty making decisions, memory problems, forgetfulness, hypervigilance are feeling constantly on alert. So the OCD comes out, the controllingness comes out, all that shit comes out. So really, if you think about it, nothing good in your body literally gets stuck in a fight or flight stance. And usually outside things start blowing up as well. So why don't we get curious? What is the overthinking? Feel your feelings. This is how you start going through it. Get curious about it. Why am I overthinking right now? You have 3 choices. Feel the feelings, even if it's hard at first. Make sure you use a big dose of compassion for yourself. So why am I overthinking? How am I feeling right now? What is my body telling me? Find somebody to work with. You cannot get through overthinking by yourself. Find a specialist, a therapist, a coach, someone to help you actively work through with actions, not just talking, fucking actions. Because talk therapy doesn't do anything. It didn't, at least for me or anybody I've worked with. You actually have to do writing work, exercises, mindfulness, actions outside of the session to work through these the thinking disease. Stop thinking about your last option is stop thinking about it or continue to put in constant worry and overthinking. So you got 3 choices. Those are them. Feel the feelings, find help, which you always need to do, and then just go on worrying the rest of your life. Which one of those sounds good to you? I would say feel the feelings and get good help. That's the best thing to do because chronic worrying and overthinking makes you age faster. So, questions to ask yourself about feeling addicted to the worry and overthinking. Here you go. Answer these questions if you want to do some work by yourself and then take it into a good therapist, coach, specialist, whoever. Not a friend and not your partner. Do not ask them these questions. Does worrying help you in any way? Number one, were you the worried kid at school? Did your mom and dad worry a lot? Is worrying saving you from regret? Do you feel disconnected in life? Does worrying help you avoid more challenging issues? Is it taking space in your mind? Like, is there really actually more issues you need to deal with in your life? Is worrying a kind of magic for you? Like, do you have this self-conscious belief? As long as you keep worrying, you're like protecting yourself and others from harm, that OCD-ness, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but Brene Brown calls it a forbidding joy. It's like this constant distress. It's like almost like a pleasure. You feel like it's giving you this sense of pleasure. You're protecting others. Does that make sense? Oh, here's the next one. Do you use worry as a motivator? Some people I know do that. Do you think worrying actually motivates you? Could there be a hormonal component? A lot of people, if you're a female, you're going into perimenopause or your hormones are off even as an older male. Do you think it's a hormonal issue? Because your hormones change and it actually can help you overthink and worry. And lastly, could worrying be a symptom of bipolar disorder or borderline? Borderline's unresolved trauma. Bipolar disorder is a chemical imbalance. So those are the things you can answer right now to do some work yourself and then go in and get help, because this is a hard addiction to break. It usually is a lifetime addiction and you need help and support to break these habits. Someone to talk through, work through a plan that you can take outside of the session and work through on a daily basis to break these habits, because it is a rewire and you can break it. I have broken worrying and overthinking. So it is doable. You just have to really do the fucking work. Isn't change hard, but it's so worth it. Why stay the same? Why stay the same when you were a young 4-year-old, when you started worrying about everything around you, to now you're whatever age you are? That's a big gap if you don't fucking change. So it's time to suit up and show up. We are at the end of the year going into 2026. Do you really want to take this addiction to worrying and overthinking into the new year? Thank you for listening to Secret Life Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this topic. Send me your thoughts to secretlifepodcast@icloud.com. Until next time. Thanks again for listening to the show. Please subscribe, rate, share, or send me a note at secretlifepodcast.com. And if you'd like to check out my book, head over to secretlifenovel.com or Amazon to pick up a copy for yourself or someone you love. Thanks again. See you soon.